lives in a crazy space in Orange County. I like to call it the buffer between North County and South County because it touches Costa Mesa, Orange, another one too, I forgot. But it touches very nice Tustin. It touches very nice cities, but itself has a very street element to it, a nice side and a street side. So when you go to the 405, like Costa Mesa, MacArthur side over there, that's nice. When you come to the west side, First, Bristol, and all that, it's a little more hood, right? So we all know that it is what it is, like thug life. It is what it is. But the key proposals may include for the housing affordability, affordable housing development, first-time buyer assistance, tenant protections, streamlining housing construction, redevelopment of underutilized commercial properties. The two that stand out to me is redevelopment of underutilized commercial properties. The other one is affordable housing development and first-time home buyers assistance. Why these matter so much? The average home running through Orange County costs almost $1 million. At the low end, $700,000. The average person cannot afford a home in Orange County or Santa Ana unless they buy with a family or if they buy with someone else. Single person like myself would have to pay have enormous reserve, have enormous put down, but I am a first-time home buyer, so I will get assistance, right? That's what we're looking for. Streamline housing construction. If you see on Harbor, between 17th and 1st, they are putting up some new houses. If you go down First, they are putting up new townhomes over there. But what's the point of putting up new townhomes if you can't afford them, right? And so we're talking about affordable housing. What does this mean to you as for affordable housing, right? Tenant protections. Now, with tenant protections, you're seeing a lot of this throughout Orange County, especially, I guess, Santa Ana, is where apartments are run down and they're charging $2,100, $1,900, $2,100 for a one bedroom that's run down. They then don't renew your lease. You have to move out. They do minor upgrades, granite counter, the fake plywood floor, little paint. Now that apartment is $2,500 a month, no central air, no or heating, no amenities, nothing. But it's $2,400 a month because why? Where you're living. This is what they're talking about, right? Now, redevelopment of underutilized commercial properties. If you go through Santa Ana, you'll see a lot of commercial properties that are owned by the city of Santa Ana that are not being utilized. That could be community centers for kids, daycare funded, city funded daycares, more emergency shelters. A lot of things can be utilized with these commercial properties, but they're just being held there, not being used. We could have a music center. We could have a lot of things. They're just not being allocated to the right use. So this is another thing that will be on. If I'm holding a debate with these three candidates, these are the topics I would throw at the three candidates. This is what I'm saying. And I got to tell you guys, I'm just a media. I'm a content creator. I don't care for either one to say, hey, I want this person, I want that person. My policies are different. My beliefs are different. How I would attack a situation. I've never really been in politics. I'm just a person for the people. So please don't judge me on this. But the redevelopment of underutilized commercial properties, I would say, where are these properties being used for the community? Where are the community STEM centers? Where are the community music allocation, content creation space? We are living in an age now where Donald Trump got elected based off of social media and content usage. We're understanding that STEAM went to STEAM because they added arts in there. If you don't know that, then you don't know that. But we'll keep moving on. Now, economic development. Now, a lot of them talked about that. Now, here is a few things I want to expand on for economic development in Santa Ana. Being that I used to live there off of Broadway and 2nd downtown, I've lived there before, so I understand what's going on. But here's the thing. Supporting small businesses. I feel like Santa Ana has supported shout out Bill's Barbecue and Bobo's Chicken and Waffle. They have supported them. I've seen them get highlighted. They used to be OG Mike's. They just switched that to a nice business. The Bill, shout out Brent Bill and all them, right? Shout out to them. I'm vegan, so I haven't tried the food, but I'm vegan. But everybody I know that tries the food said it's good, so shout out to them. But when we talk about economic development, right? Supporting small businesses. So, you know, what was the name of that business? I forgot. Dang, that's on me. But a lot of them business giving them grants, them city grants to help them, renovate their buildings, giving them a bigger standing. Also, revitalizing downtown Santa Ana. Downtown Santa Ana used to be an artsy district, somewhere you can go where they're fixing it. They're working on that. When you say revitalize downtown Santa Ana, everybody wants to know what's up with the street cart. Let's address the street cart. Let's address the street cart. What is the street cart for? When will it be done? How will it better serve Santa Ana? That's the question we're having. How will the street cart better serve Santa Ana? What are we gonna do with the street cart? Like, is it there for looks? Is it cute? Is it gonna change traffic? Is it giving people alternative routes? Can it help people go to work? What is gonna change the life in Santa Ana? What is that gonna do? What does that look like for Santa Ana, right? That's what we wanna know. We wanna know for Santa Ana, how does that work? What is that when we talk about economic development, right? Now, attracting new employers. Who is bringing their business to Santa Ana to hire more people? Because attracting new employers mean increasing local wages, right? That's what we want to do. We want to increase local wages, right? So how are we doing that? So Anaheim has Disney, and we know Disney funds a lot of workers, same thing, with Buena Park and Knott's. What does Santa Ana have to say? We are attracting new employees. Now, I will say in economic development, I seen a plan. I did see a plan to revamp the Main Place Mall, have it ready for the Olympics in 2028. I saw a plan for that. I will say I saw a plan for that. I'm not too sure how that's going. I'm not too sure what that's going to do. But I will say that part I have seen that, right? With that being said, increasing local wages. This is Orange County. It's no way Orange County should have the same minimum wage, the same pay rate as any other county when the cost of living is way past any other county. If we got to pay to live by the beach, we should get paid to work by the beach. Now, this last one, expanding workforce development programs. Workforce development programs should be expanded, especially for those with criminal backgrounds, which are called justice impaired, those ones that are called system impaired, all these people like that, right? People who already come in the game with one hand tied behind their back, they should definitely get a little help with workforce development programs. Why do we need workforce development programs? Is when you teach someone how to work and make them want to work, you no longer depend on the state or the city to actually take care of them. That means less people on welfare. That means more people working, better tax dollars. We could do more with the city, right? So let's expand the workforce development programs. Let's get back to trades, vocation, nursing, stuff like that really help, that jobs that AI cannot take over as of right now and can help our community grow if you're about being a community-based servant, right? Being a service. Now, budget and fiscal responsibility, right? The budget and physical responsibility. Every city wants this, but Santa Ana wants more responsible spending, infrastructure investment, pension obligations, grant funding, long-term financial stability, right? Sustainability. Grant funding should be at the top of the list. Grant funding should be at the top of the list for small business, tech business, minority tech space, content creation space, these free creative spaces. There's no workspace that's creative. Remember Vector 90 by NIP? Where's that in Santa Ana to where young people who have this creative mindset, who are artists, whether it be painting, whether it be clothing, whether it be content, whether it be music, have a free space to go learn and it's not be in the streets because you got a gang problem. What options are you giving them? You're not giving them no options. You're saying, hey, sit in your hood all day. You can kind of box at Jerome Center, or you can do this over there. Where can they be creative? Everyone's not an athletic person. Some people have a creative mindset. Some people are academic. Some people are academia. Some people just think. Where can they go for that safe space? This is where you get, your grant funding, pension obligations, people's retirements, city servant retirements, your police retirements, everything. Even social workers should have pensions. I think they do through Cal Savers, I think. But even the social workers that you guys are not understanding have the highest stress job there is right now is a social worker. They're dealing with multiple personalities. They're dealing with addiction people. They're dealing with people with mental health issues. And they're having to house people, right? They're having to house people. These things should be put in place for the pension, right? Responsible spending for the city. What are they spending their money on? I believe they got some money for housing. I know they built one low-income housing. I don't know how many more they got going. That's not really, I don't have a lot of information right here. But how are they spending their money? It's always critical to find out how a city is spending their money. Is it frivolous or is it good? Like, I think these topics, like I said, if it was me holding a debate with these candidates, these are the topics I would address, like I have written right here in my notes for, because these are the topics the city really wants to know about. They don't care about parades, festivals, and all this cool stuff. They don't care about that. They want to know what's going on in their city. They want to know what's really going on. They want to understand why this ain't working, why that ain't working. Reason being is because they have to live there. They have to raise their kids there, their family. They want to be safe and secure knowing that they're going to be able to feed their kids the next day, right? So all the smoke and mirrors and the circuitry and all the dancers, that's cool for now. It's going to get you noticed. But when it boils down and someone real starts asking these questions, I don't know if they do debates for mayor electoral votes or election votes or however they do it in Santa Ana, like, I don't know. If it was me, and I'm telling you right now, if it was me, I would be on their head about this, right? Infrastructure, street repair, sidewalk, parks, water system, public transportation, bicycle infrastructure. Are there bicycle lanes on most of your roads? Do you know that a lot of predominant people who are poor can't afford money or ride scooters, motor e-bikes, and regular bikes to work or for their destination, their transportation? People have opted out of Ubers, the bus. Everything is too expensive. People buy a scooter, an electric scooter, and they ride that to work. Where are the bike lanes in Santa Ana? Do we have more bike lanes? Where's the bicycle infrastructure for Santa Ana? Street repairs. Some Santa Ana streets look just like Compton with them big potholes. Do we have the road bumps in communities where people drive too fast and cutting these car crashes, drinking and driving? What are we doing about that? Sidewalks. Are there better sidewalks so people are not tripping? Older people that have walkers and crutches and canes and wheelchairs. Do we have ADA sidewalks everywhere we go through the city of Santa Ana to really help people? These are questions that the residents should be asking, the community should be asking. Parks. Are the parks safe? Now, I will say they have Lion security working a lot of these parks. Are they clean, hygiene? Like, how's the park looking? We get that the homeless sometimes sleep in the park, so that does become a problem. But what do these parks have to offer? What is the park and recreation program looking like? What are those things looking like for our kids in the summertime right now? What are they doing in these parks? Are they safe? Are they even... You got people selling fentanyl, using fentanyl in these parks. It's crazy. Like, come on. Water system. What is our water quality like? What is our water quality like? Like, what is the water that is coming out that you're taking a bath in, that you're, cooking with, whatever, however you use your water, right? That is always going to be an issue when in California, when we're in this kind of orange. People expect the best water. Me personally, I'm buying alkaline. I'm not finna play with it. Okay, we talked about that. So let's go quality of life, right? Quality of life. This number 7 topic that they should address is kind of, it's iffy. We're talking about graffiti removal, illegal dumping of stuff, trash, bunks like that in neighborhoods that you got a sofa on the street, stuff by the trash can, code enforcement. The buildings that people are living on, is the code being enforced or is being looked away because it's owned by the city? Tree planting. Are we going to make it look nice? So right now, tree planting, I believe last time I was down there, Harbor, they're planting some nice palm trees. It's looking a little different. In Bristol, I think they're doing some tree planting there, right? Clean neighborhoods. The street sweepers. People don't want to have to pay an enormous amount of rent or mortgage to have a filthy neighborhood because they don't want to come through and do street cleaning, or they don't really care. This is not an area, nothing like that, right? Nothing like that. They don't want to do it, right? What do you think? Let me ask you, chat. What do you guys think? How do people want their neighborhood? How do you think people want their neighborhood? They want a clean neighborhood. People don't want to pay this astronomical rent for a dirty neighborhood with trash all in the street because street sweeper didn't come through. We want a clean neighborhood, right? Noise and nuisance complaints. Now, this is like, listen, I can't help you because I might throw a party myself. We're going to have to skip that one. Let's skip that one, guys. We got a few more, guys. We got like a couple more. Number 8. Now, number 8 is very, very touchy in Santa Ana because Santa Ana is very Hispanic dense community. It's a Hispanic community, so immigration and community services are very popular, right? Has a large immigration population. So what about language access? For those who can't speak English, what about language access? How do they navigate through Santa Ana? How are they going to navigate through the school system? How are they going to navigate through the work system? What do we have for them? Youth programs for undocumented people, if there are. Senior services for undocumented people. Community health for undocumented people. Support for immigrant families when ICE do raid or when they don't have the necessary resources to help them. How do we support immigrant families? This is going to be a big question in Santa Ana. If you're having a debate and you're on that stand, you're in front of that mic, they're going to ask you, what is your immigration policies? Where do you stand? What are you going to do about language access, youth programs, senior services, community health, support immigrant families. They don't have documents. And how do we help them get